Check one, check two, going live, and we are live. We're live. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the cat program. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. Yeah. Meow, 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 meow. Are you a cat lady? Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the program. Welcome. This is a cat program today. Yeah. How you doing? Marcus Conte reporting. Good morning. Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday. Very serious subject today. One candidate has called the other into question about her fertility, or fertility, excuse me, not fertility. Fertility isn't a word. Fertility, meaning that it's quite possible that Kamala Harris's womb cannot bear fruit, right? And she's running for president. How dare a female president running for office and not be able to bear children? No children inside of Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris, the person, the woman, the 59-year-old woman, has never produced a child. Although she has two children in tow, the husband, she's married to a husband, a man, a white man, a white Jew man. And the white Jew man has two lovely children, but so Kamala Harris is a stepmom at best, but has never had a real child. How could she go on? How could America go on with a leader who has never had a child? Now, cat lady, right? She's technically, this all stems from the comment that J.D. Vance alleged at Kamala Harris and others in the Democratic Party, people that are adamantly against abortion, for example, and none of them seem to have children. People like Pete Buttigieg and others. I don't know exactly who they are, but there's plenty of cat women. AOC, for example, no children. Does this matter? Does it fucking matter that someone doesn't have children? Can someone still lead a nation and not have a child? Can someone take care of your children on a higher level, like a president, take care of the country and all its children without actually having a child? I don't know. Can a doctor take care of somebody who has cancer, but the doctor himself has never had cancer? Yeah, I guess so, right? So this is an issue. It calls into question Kamala Harris's fertility. Did she willingly not have children, or is it something more organic? She just can't have kids. And J.D. Vance has said, you'll see the clip, that he's not against people who can't have kids because, I don't know, God didn't grant them children. It's the ones that choose not to, right? That's what he was targeting. He's saying that a leader in America should be family values. And to honor those family values, I guess you should have a family. Well, that's the argument right there, and we'll see if it's a good argument. I don't know. I'm a cat guy. I'm a cat lady for the most part. I'm a cat lady. I was just outside feeding cats. I had to feed these the strays. They're not strays anymore. They come by every day, so that qualifies them as pets. And they compete. There's like four of them. I have four cats in the yard, and a squirrel, Zeke the squirrel. I have a squirrel. He comes and eats nuts with me every morning. But very, very serious subject there. Also in the news is What else? Oh yeah, very bad for Gaza and the Palestinian people. It seems that some group organizing with Hezbollah inside of Palestine just killed 12 fucking kids. They blew up a schoolyard. Hezbollah, alleged Iran-backed Hezbollah, right? It blew up a school in Israel and killed 12 fucking, baby Jews, baby children. And that's a big problem for Palestine. That's a big problem. Israel, if the first attack on the rave where they killed a couple of hundred, if that wasn't bad enough, this is bad. Right. So this is the calm before the storm. If you thought genocide was bad then, now Israel has even more of a reason to more manufactured consent, if you will, to level Gaza. Not good at all. And finally, Joe Biden, on his way out, if you watched his farewell speech, he uttered something about the Supreme Court, and now he seems to be doubling down. Joe Biden, sitting president of the United States, who's no longer going to be the president, has decided that he wants to change the rules governing the Supreme Court, make term limits for the Supreme Court, a few other things too. Term limits was one of them. Oversight, right, for the High Court. The High Court should have oversight. No, the High Court is the oversight, you idiot. Right? Maybe even change the numbers, the balance, right? Because the Democrats are getting slaughtered by the justice fucking, the Supreme Court right now. Most of the rulings are allegedly going right as opposed to going left. So Joe Biden, in his final days, that's what he's vowed to do. I'm going to change the Supreme Court rules. It ain't going to happen, Joe. Guess what? Nobody's going to listen to you anymore. You need 2/3 of the Senate to get any of that shit done. And the Supreme Court doesn't like you. They're not going to listen to you. Even if there's a congressional ruling, you still have the Supreme Court. You can't water down the Supreme Court. You can't water down the presidency. You can't water these things down. They are what they are. Put your big boy pants on and accept it that at the time, Donald Trump was the president and he acted like a big boy. And now he's going to be president again. And he's going to act like even a bigger boy. So those are the facts. Facts of our time. There's Kamala Harris, alleged Kamala Harris feeding cats. Looks just like her. I don't know if it's her or not, but it looks like her. Plenty of cats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's get 8, 9 cats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cats. Kamala Harris is feeding somewhere. This is, I guess, in the back of the vice president's mansion somewhere. 9 cats. So we'll look at this fantastic story and others. My name is Marcus Conte. Educational philosophical live stream every single morning, Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. live right here on YouTube. We go live. It's educational, philosophical. It's not politics, man. It's just it's just opinion, right? It's just one guy's opinion. Broadcasting live from the great United States, Northeast Pennsylvania, United States. And what else can I do? Get your white privilege out of here. Democrats trying to make it a racist. Everything is race. They're pivoting. The Democrats are pivoting hard to identity politics. Are you black? Then you must vote for us. Women for white women for black Camilla. Black men for white Camilla. All these racial groups are now organizing and sending Kamala Harris money. There's black women for Camilla, white women for Camilla, white men for Camilla. Why do we have to slice and dice everybody into a color? That's the fucking problem, right? Get your white privilege out of here, says the racist. And we're live every morning with these fine people. Weevil Girl is in the house. What's up, Weevil Girl? John R. is here as well. Sedento Vicarius. Having trouble with his hey, I'll just say one thing about the chat and the comments on this channel. I have no control over it. I don't do anything. The last time I removed a comment must have been a year ago. So it's not me. I don't block anybody. Nobody's blocked on this channel. So it is an inside job. Please don't ever be angry with me unless you're a dick, and then you know you deserved it. But other than dickery, no, there's no censorship on this program. It's an unfortunate situation we have here, and nothing I can do about it. Andy Whitmire, what's up? David Brown's here. V.D. Martinez in the house. What's up, Vinny? And everybody else who's lurking out there, if you're lurking, thank you for joining me. Let's start here with the polls in the presidential year. Who's winning? Who's winning according to the polls? July 27, that's fresh. And what do you know? The polls, the presidential polls, if we trust them, are tightening. Fox News has Michigan tied, Trump-Harris tied, Pennsylvania tied. Fucking Trump was up 7 points a week ago. Now he's tied. Minnesota, Harris by 6. Well, Minnesota is historically blue anyway, so that doesn't matter. That's gone. Minnesota hasn't gone red since 1960. Wisconsin tied. Michigan, Trump by 2. That's interesting. Fox News, when you add in the spoilers, Kennedy, Stein, West, you have Harris by 2. Minnesota, Harris by 6 and 10. So the polls, the general polls are definitely tightening. The ones to look at, Wisconsin is good that Trump is up by 1, but Michigan, Pennsylvania are tied. I don't know, man. So polls are tightening, and I guess I don't know, got to find out if the Republicans better do something. It's Trump's to lose at this point. He was so far out ahead, and now it's at best even. Very, very common before a convention, the naming of a new candidate. There's excitement. It's often referred to as a honeymoon phase of the Democrat election. And right after the convention, I guess it's August 10 or 12, the middle of August, again, the Democrats will have their convention, and then you would guess that the honeymoon will be over. I just want to talk about this the happening Hezbollah in Israel, attacking Israel. Let's listen.
From Israel's response to Hezbollah, and how soon?
Well, Hezbollah had crossed the red line, and you're right. I'm coming back now from the town of Majd al-Shams here in Israel in the Golan Heights, and it's heartbreaking. There are 12.
Bitch nuts. Hold that thought. Vance is sinking Trump. That's a good thought. Is J.D. Vance sinking Trump with his rhetoric? That's important. That's what's definitely bitch nuts. You're not alone. I think that could be in Trump's mind right now. So we're going to explore that. Is J.D. Vance a drag by saying these things? My gut feeling is no. It excites the base, right? Look, they're all fucking childless, and and immigrants and
families, the entire Druze community who's mourning into Israel entirely. I don't think that a massacre like that of 12 children has left one dry eye here in Israel. Our hearts are completely shattered. And
this is bad. This is fucking bad right here. Hezbollah blew up a fucking schoolyard with kids.
Okay. These are little babies. These are little children who went to play soccer.
This is quiet before the storm. You think Israel's going to let this one slide? Do you think that that Benjamin Netanyahu, who just was in the United States and's got fucking $50 billion to use to blow shit up, do you think that you're gonna who are they gonna bomb? What are they gonna bomb? They're gonna bomb fucking Iran? Iran-backed Hezbollah? They're gonna go bomb Iran? What are they gonna do? Bomb Jordan? Come on.
They wanted to play sport. They were competing.
What are they going to kill all the people left? All the refugees, the Palestinian refugees? What are they going to do? Start killing them? They're already killing them, but what are they going to start killing them even more, faster?
And their parents are absolutely broken. The entire community is broken. It's difficult.
Yeah, I know. There's communities broken in fucking Israel tonight. But what about all of the devastation that Israel has done in Gaza? This won't stop, right? These organizations, Hezbollah and Hamas, they're not going to stop. They pause, and then some hero stands up and blows up a schoolyard, and on and on and on. You see, love and coming together was the solution, a two-party system, a two-party solution where people can coexist together in the same fucking area. But that's long gone now. That's long gone. You could thank Joe Biden for that. The whole fucking Israel, two-party state and all that stuff, that shit fell apart, man, under Biden. It was strong under Trump. Benjamin Netanyahu would have never blown up fucking or attacked Gaza like that with such a vengeance if Trump was still president. I don't think. And I don't think Putin would have ever taken Ukraine if not for Joe Biden's weakness. But this is a real. This is real. I tell you, just wait. It's coming. Israel. If you thought Israel was angry now, angry then, wait till they're fucking revving up the war machine right now. So here's Joe Biden. I want to talk about his comment on the Supreme Court. Here's his comment.
I'm going to call for Supreme Court reform.
What are you going to do, Joe?
This is critical to our democracy.
Critical to our democracy. What are you going to do, Joe?
Supreme Court reform. I'm the first president in this century to report to the American people that the United States is not at war anywhere.
What? The United States is not at war anywhere? They just funded Israel.
Not at war anywhere in the world.
He said that.
That the United States is not at war anywhere in the world.
The United States is not at war anywhere in the world, says Joe Biden, right? As he's saying Supreme Court reform. So here's the gist of it. Biden's call for Supreme Court reforms. Amendment to strip president of immunity from prosecution. So he's the outgoing president, and he says, I'm going to strip the Supreme Court of immunity for future presidents. I have it now, but in the future, we should take it away. That's what he's saying. President Joe Biden on Monday called for Supreme Court reforms, including term limits for justices, a binding code of conduct, and ethics rules. Code of conduct and ethics rules? What the fuck are you talking about? You mean your conduct and your ethics? Your leftist agenda ethics? You're supposed to act a certain way. You're supposed to agree with us. And if you don't, then you're violating the code of ethics. That's bullshit, Joe. Joe Biden is a fucking hypocrite. Right? Term limits? Why don't you go after Congress? Why don't you go after, if you want to have term limits, have the fucking House and have the Senate, right? Make the Senate should only be 2 years. It's a 6-year term. It should only be 1. Why are senators in there for 30 years? Term limits. If you're going to go after term limits, go after term limits for House and Senate. Presidency has it, right? Right? And the obviously the Supreme Court does not have term limits, and it's always been that way. It's a job for life. You die in office. Most justices, rarely retire. We've seen a few retirees in this lifetime, but before that, they usually just fucking die in office. So Joe Biden wants to reform. This nation was founded on a simple yet profound principle. No one is above the law. Not the president of the United States. So he wants to hog tie the presidency as well. And but this is impossible. A constitutional amendment would require 2/3 vote in both the House and Senate, or a constitutional convention is requested by 34 states. None of that's going to happen. No 34 states are going to come together to reform the fucking Constitution for the Supreme Court. Are you kidding me? More than half the country likes the way it's going. Right? So Joe Biden's going to spend. The point is, Joe Biden is openly attacking the Supreme Court, saying they're not ethical and they're not following the rules and they're making stuff up as they go. Right? They have no binding code of conduct, no ethics. That's what Joe Biden's going to spend the next 4 months of his presidency talking about, to which nobody is going to listen. Impossible to get 2/3 of the House. Impossible to get 2/3. Well, not impossible for the House, but to get 2/3 of the Senate to agree when half of them are Republicans. Impossible. Impossible. So Joe Biden has decided to spend the remainder of his time doing nothing, right? Bitching and moaning and crying about the Supreme Court. Hey, Joe, why don't you make it 25 Supreme Court justices instead of just 9, right? Dilute it a little more. So yeah, let's talk about J.D. Vance and the cat lady comments. Here we go. Here's Megyn Kelly has J.D. Vance on the show to defend it. So let's listen to Megyn spin it. This is good stuff.
Mr. Vance talked about how he wanted to see the Republican Party as a pro-family party. He discussed the importance of children. And
that's where the comment stems from. J.D. Vance was talking about a pro-family party. That's all.
Brought up the fact that many top Democratic leaders don't have any kids, questioning what kind of a message the party as a whole is sending to young Americans. Take a listen.
I want to take aim at the left, specifically the childless left, because I think the rejection of the American family is perhaps the most pernicious and most evil thing that the left has done in this country.
Rejecting the family is the most pernicious thing that the left has done. Does anybody believe that? No, I don't want to have kids. I want to have a career. I'm going to move to California and I'm going to pursue acting. And if I have a child, it'll just get in the way. I can't have a child now. I'll have a child later, maybe. Or in New York, I'm climbing the corporate ladder, and I need 70 hours a week to climb the corporate ladder, and a kid will drag me down. That's what people say in the go-go fucking areas of the world. But look at J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is running for vice president. He's a senator, and he has 3 small kids in tow. Does it slow him down or does it elevate him? I don't know. It is a good point. Let's just listen one more time, and I'll try not to interrupt.
That's the importance of children, and brought up the fact that many top Democratic leaders don't have any kids, questioning what kind of a message the party as a whole is sending to young Americans. Take a listen.
I want to take aim at the left, specifically the childless left, because I think the rejection of the American family is perhaps the most pernicious and most evil thing that the left has done in this country. Consider all of the next gen of the Democrat Party. The names are obvious. They're well-known people. Kamala Harris, Mayor Pete Buttigieg, who's now the Secretary of Transportation, Cory Booker, AOC. Think all these.
So he names 4: Cory Booker, AOC, Pete Buttigieg, and Kamala Harris are all cat ladies, right? That's what he's saying. They don't want to have kids. They didn't have kids. Two of those people are men. So he's not just saying it's an infertility issue. That's pretty clear because obviously Pete Buttigieg in the real world doesn't have a womb and can't have a child. He can buy a child or donate some sperm to a woman and have one. but he himself cannot have a child. Therefore, he can never be a true cat lady. And we're not talking about infertility. I'm sorry, I interrupted again.
These people, they're different. They come from different walks of life, different parts of the country. What is the one thing that unites every single one of them?
No kids.
Not a single one of them has any children. Look, a lot of people are unable to have kids for very complicated and important reasons. There are people, of course, for biological reasons, medical reasons, that can't have children. The target of these remarks is not them. It's important to point that out. It is one thing to recognize that there are people who don't have children. It's one thing to recognize that there are people who don't have children through no fault or choice of their own.
There he goes.
But it's something else to build a political movement invested theoretically in the future of this country when not a single one of them actually has any physical commitment to the future of this country. Kids are the ultimate way that we find healthy people, at least I think, self-meaning in life. We should treat this as a crisis in this country. And we should send the signal to the culture that we are the pro-family party and we're going to back it up with real policy.
There you go. Pro-family party. Pro-family party. Weevil Girl says, you're not a real woman unless you give birth. That's not bigoted. I don't know. Is it? I don't know.
Now, because Mr. Vance named names in his speech, it caused some headlines at the time, mainly because Vice President Harris is not a mother of her own biological children, but she's a stepmother. At the same time, Secretary Buttigieg did not have any children, but about a month later, he adopted twin babies. Right. So a few days after those remarks, back in 2021, Mr. Vance went on Tucker Carlson's show on Fox to address some of the blowback, and that's when he made the comments about the childless cat ladies. Watch.
We're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are miserable at their own lives and the choices that they've made.
Look at Tucker Carlson. We're run by miserable cat ladies. That's powerful. And all along while we're watching this, think, is J.D. Vance sinking Trump's ticket by saying this? I don't think so. I really, really don't think so. I think it gets people revved up at best.
Run in this
people see the humor to it. It's humorous. There is humor to it.
Country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies who are
a bunch of childless cat ladies
miserable at their own lives and the choice.
Miserable cat ladies. Miserable childless cat ladies. That's the words he's choosing. Miserable childless cat ladies. Oh my God.
Choices that they've made, and so they want to make the rest of the country miserable too. And it's just a basic fact. You look at Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, AOC, the entire future of the Democrats is controlled by people without children.
This is the stuff your insurance company doesn't want you to know about.
Who cares?
Have you noticed your auto insurance payments have practically doubled recently?
I have not. Bye.
Well, the Harris team recirculated the comments this week, leading Democrats and the media, the same media currently rewriting history to tell us Kamala Harris was never the border czar, to immediately pile on cue. On Tuesday, Hillary Clinton shared it on X and sarcastically wrote, "What a normal, relatable guy who certainly doesn't hate women having freedoms. Literally, your husband has been accused of repeated sexual assaults, so take a seat, madam." On Wednesday, actress Jennifer Aniston weighed in, writing,
Megyn Kelly on fire.
Truly can't believe this is coming from a potential VP of the United States, and urged Senator Vance to think about his own daughter, hoping that she might never need IVF, which she accused Mr. Vance of being against, which, as we pointed out yesterday, is not true. And it did not end there. Watch.
How dare you? You never had a baby. Your wife had a baby. You know who else didn't have kids? George Washington, the father of our nation. Like Kamala, he raised Martha's children.
Because they invalidate even the idea of women who use IVF to get pregnant, or women who don't have children, or women who are stepmoms. Like, none of those are valid women to them. Those women don't matter. They're trying to reinforce this message that the only valid version.
She has a shirt on. That's Joy Reid, the racist, with a shirt that says Black Queen. Black Queen. Can you imagine if I wore that shirt? If I went down fucking walking through Washington Square Park with well, maybe not Washington Square Park. I'd get a hero's welcome. But if I walked in certain areas with a Black Queen shirt on, I'd probably get beat up.
Version of America is the America where white women didn't leave the home.
My kids are older. Does that make me childless? I want to qualify.
He is falling into the line of Donald Trump, offending women, offending minorities.
So if you have stepkids, J.D. Vance is saying that you should not have as many rights as everybody else. Like, this is a person, him and the former...
No one's talking about any rights. We're talking about a matter of opinion, the ability to govern. That's all we're talking about.
President.
Is it true or not?
They want to control women. Jesus did not have children, right?
Jesus. He invoked Jesus on MSNBC. Jesus did not have children. Well, he was the father of the world.
Joining me now, GOP Vice Presidential Candidate J.D. Vance. Don't miss a moment. Subscribe to this show on YouTube and follow me on Insta, Facebook, and J.D. Senator, welcome back to the show. It's great to see you.
All right.
Good to see you, Megan. Thank you.
So Jesus didn't have kids.
That's
Therefore,
right.
You are wrong. What were you trying to say?
What were you trying to say, Jimmy?
I guess they're comparing Kamala Harris to Jesus. I don't know. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me, Megan. But look, I know the media wants to attack me and wants me to back down on this, Megan. But the simple point that I made is that having children, becoming a father, becoming a mother, I really do think it changes your perspective in a pretty profound way. This is something, of course, we've recognized for hundreds of years in this country, that human civilization has always...
So JD, listening to JD Vance, we sum it up by saying all he was talking about is family values. He's talking about family, mother, male, mother, female, father, male, and children, family. All right, that's all we're talking about. Without that, we're rejecting that basic natural instinct to reproduce is a fucking problem, he's saying. That's what he's saying.
Always recognized. But there's a deeper point here, Megan. It's not a criticism of people who don't have children. I explicitly said in my remarks, despite the fact the media has lied about this, that this is not about criticizing people who, for various reasons, didn't have kids. This is about criticizing the Democratic Party for becoming anti-family and anti-child.
Right. Now, he was clear in his comments. You heard him in his own comments say that he's not against people who can have kids. He's railing against the people who choose not to have kids. The angry fucking cat ladies, right? And if you don't think they exist, there's a video on my channel. I was at a parade for fucking women against something, right? It was like thousands of loud, strong lesbian women screaming and yelling and fucking hating on Trump, right? And they just said, give me a black woman. Who are you going to vote for? Give me a black woman. They wanted. They were demanding a black woman. So there's a lot of people. It's a combination of hating Trump, but and loving blacks, I guess. I don't know.
We have to ask ourselves, Megan, why do we have masking of toddlers years after the pandemic ended? Why do we have the Harris campaign coming out this very morning, Megan, and saying that we should not have the child tax credit, which lowers tax rates for parents of young children? It's because they have become...
So those are the comments. That's J.D. Vance is trying to squeak out of it. But here's J.D. Vance on the big stage attacking. This is a good comeback. Here's J.D. Vance. I believe this is Minnesota and Trump. This is a Trump rally. J.D. Vance opens up for Trump with this.
Now, maybe the worst and most dishonest thing that Kamala Harris has done, and it is a long list, my friends, is that she helped cover up Joe Biden's declining mental capacity for years. It's actually sad.
I don't think this is a winning argument, by the way. The argument that the Democratic Party covered for Joe Biden because he was senile, not really. Joe Biden finally came to terms with himself. He wasn't indigent. He wasn't totally fucking zero. He was 3/4 gone, right? And for that, you can't push a guy out of the presidency. And so I don't think the Republicans making a case that the Democrats legally and did something nefarious by lying about Joe Biden's health is really a good argument. That argument should be over. Everybody knows it now, right? The admission that Joe Biden is incapable of running for president again is enough, right? Because of why? Not because he's not popular. It's because of his age. He's not capable of doing it anymore. Right? And that's clear now. So let it go. Drop it.
Putin, Xi, Kim Jong-un, all these dictators, they have been sitting in private rooms for 3.5 years, licking their chops because we have a president who can't actually do the job. Now, anyone who's too blind to see Biden's incompetence or too dishonest to admit it is not fit to serve as commander-in-chief. She lied to us. She lied to all of us, and it's unacceptable.
Get on with it, JD. Get on with it, JD.
And you know, they never give President Trump an easy path. Kamala Harris, the Democratic elites are trying to install her as their new nominee without her receiving a single vote for president.
Yep.
The media, our friends back there, they call it a coronation. I think there's another word. I call it a coup.
Coup.
In America, we do not crown our leaders. We vote for them. Democrat or Republican, you got to give the voters a choice.
That's a big point J.D. Vance is making. Huge point. Democrats are fucking pushing Kamala Harris in without any votes. Yeah. She was on the winning ticket, Biden-Harris in 2020. But in this role, running for president has not received a single vote for that position. No primary, no nothing. Just a bunch of, I guess, superpower, the super elite, the super delegates, right? There's the word, super delegates. Democratic super delegates have picked your candidate. Right? Democrats, swallow that one. Get it, take a good whiff of what just happened to you. You didn't pick Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris picked you. The Democrats picked her, and you're gonna vote for her whether you like it or not. You don't want Trump, do you?
But if there's one thing we've learned about Kamala Harris, it's that she has a hard time winning votes because she's too extreme even for the Democrat Party. Remember, in the 2020 primary, Harris dropped out months before they even cast the first vote. She was so unpopular, she polled in the low single digits among Democrats the entire campaign.
That's absolutely true, man. She was a horrible candidate against Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and Cory Booker and Pete Buttigieg and Tulsi Gabbard. She got slaughtered in the debate. Right? Why did Joe Biden pick her then? Because she's a black woman. She's black, and she's a woman. I gotta have black woman.
She wasn't even in the top 3 in her home state of California, and that is pretty embarrassing, ladies and gentlemen. And the reason is because Democrats know that the American people would never elect a San Francisco liberal who's so far outside the mainstream. Now, we've got to give some credit to our Democrat friends because they were right in 2020. The American people are never going to elect a wacky, out-of-touch San Francisco liberal like Kamala Harris.
He makes a great comment about his loyalty. I think it's right here.
I saw the other day.
Right here.
Kamala Harris questioned my loyalty to this country. That's the word she used, loyalty. And it's an interesting word, simplify, loyalty, because there is no greater sign of disloyalty to this country than what Kamala Harris has done at our southern border. And I'd like to ask the Vice President, what has she done to question my loyalty to this country? I served in the United States Marine Corps. I went to Iraq for this country.
He's a good speaker.
I built a business for this country. and my running mate took a bullet for this country. So my question to Kamala Harris is, what the hell have you done to question our loyalty to the United States of America?
Wow. You just gave these guys carte blanche to run over you. That was a great talk. My running partner took a bullet for this country. It's great comments. So this is just Kamala Harris's family background. She's married to Douglas Emhoff. She has no children, never has had children. Mother from India. Her mother's from India. Father's from Jamaica, or vice versa. One of them is from fucking Jamaica. Douglas Emhoff is a Jew, right? So he's a Jew. She's married to a Jew. These are the two kids, Cole and Ella. Not biological kids. They're white. They're Snow White. She has a Snow White husband and two Snow White children. Right. But she's for blacks. She's got a sister too that looks just like her. That's a little fucking scary right there. Can you take the mask off so we can see your face? Right? You could talk about a stunt double. Kamala Harris has a stunt double in her sister. So even the Australians are laughing at us right now about race. Let's look at the market first, and then I'll leave you with that. I'll leave you with that story. So the markets were way up earlier. Nasdaq was up 161. Let's see where it is now. Ding! Oh, Nasdaq up 112, and the Dow is slipping. Dow slipped 87 points on McDonald's earnings, missing across the board. So people are, I guess, at least this quarter, are moving away from fast food, moving away from McDonald's. Maybe, I don't know. Looks like H.A. Goodman right here. It just reminded me of H.A. Goodman down there. So let's see. Donald Trump media down $1.50 to 29. Tesla up 8. What else? Nvidia up 2.5. Google up $2. Apple up 64 cents. Amazon up 75 cents. Meta up $2.30. Microsoft up $1. $2. So it looks like the high techs are green. Dow stocks are down, slightly red. We're not talking about a lot here. We're talking about the Nasdaq is up a percentage point, 0.8. That's significant. So markets, nothing spectacular happening right now. Everything is still going up. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, look at it. It's 40,500 right now. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is 40,500. That's big. That's fucking really big. So let's listen to this. What are these people talking about? Thank you, Australia, Sky News. Great reporting.
Now, another issue that is concerning me is the Democrats going back to their segregationist roots with this new trend of race-based groups supporting Kamala Harris. There's White Dudes for Harris. They held a mass video call to support her presidential campaign and end what they call the culture of masculinity. And a Zoom event also was held for white women Answer the Call. That took place also in support of Harris. And there's also a group called Win with Black Women. Do we now have groups set aside based purely on race? Is a black man presumably prevented from joining White Dudes for Harris? It sounds like systematic racism.
Well, Rita, you know this. Joe Biden said that if you don't vote for him, you're not black. And, I just want to say I'm so thankful that Australia, you guys let me come on Sky News. It's so great. But Chris Lilly, one of the greatest comedians of all time, as good as any American comedian has ever been, he calls out all of this race and gender nonsense. So that's where we're at, is that we're electing people based on their race and their gender instead of being a meritocracy based on their record of being successful. So we're screwed basing everything on the color of a person's skin. It's really sad, Rita. And you know this. You're awake to all this nonsense. But I don't think the majority of people that are watching, just normal TV realize that this system is affecting you personally, the people that are, watching at home.
Has there been much backlash to these race-based groups that have popped up in support of Harris? Is anyone objecting to the fact that, you know, you've got white dudes and white women and black? I mean, why can't they just support
Welcome, everybody.
Kamala
Welcome to the CAT program.
together? Why do they need to be separated along racial lines?
Rita, you nailed it. It's all nonsense. Basing everything by race is racist. So it's all nonsense. Saying white people for Harris, you know, white women for Harris. It's all nonsense. Harris is a Jamaican, Indonesian woman. So when they make everything about race, it just proves that they're racist. So people here in America, they could care less about Kamala Harris becoming vice president, in my personal opinion.
Did you just try to make her even more exotic and make her Indonesian? Isn't she, Indian heritage there? Kind of close.
What? Is it Indonesian?
Exactly.